Well, Chess.com is here with the champ, Grandmaster Ding Liren, back to defend your title. Thanks for joining me.
Oh, thank you.
First thing I want to know, it's like the only breaking news that we have. We have seen Richard Rapport in the hotel, much like in 2023. He's not hiding himself. So a lot of your fans will be happy to know that he's back. Tell us, what is the number one thing that he does to help you in this tournament?
Well, first come to mind is he prepared some open ideas like last time, some interesting ideas that I can use if the match is heating up. Uh, Also, he's a very fun guy and he made some jokes whenever he gave us a good atmosphere. Match starts.
Obviously, you talk a lot coming up to the match and during the match. But I'm curious, how much did you talk in the early parts of 2024 when you were struggling in some of your over the board tournaments? Were you also talking with Richard then?
Not so much. I think the first time we talked was in Grand Chess Classic because we both played there, and I told him he's very famous in China after last year's World Championship match. He said he's very happy about that. And yes, I only come to uh, invite him to second me in this championship and several months ago, and he agreed. And so we can started to work together again.
Well, that's great. And I think in the last World Championship match, we talked about music some. So have your musical interests evolved at all? Are you listening to new music?
Uh, yes, yes, but this time we haven't listened to the same music again.
Well, what are you listening to? Name any song or band.
Uh, Actually, not so many. When I go, I only read some lines of books. I haven't uh, opened my music yet.
Okay, fair enough. Now, I think I heard you say at the press conference that you'd only been preparing for 3 weeks. And everybody was wondering, did you mean 3 weeks or did you mean 3 months?
I think because my last tournament was in Budapest.
Right.
Uh, ah, yes. I think before that, my second is started preparing for me. Before that, so my second start earlier, and we just trained together after the Budapest Olympiad. So I think 3 weeks is the time I meet my seconds, and we talk together, and I go to see the lines he prepared for me, and the ideas he reserved for me, like something in that kind of sense.
That makes sense. Now, speaking of the Budapest Olympiad, much of the world wanted to see you play against Gukesh, but of course you sat out that round. Can you tell us why? And do you think that was the right decision?
Yes, according to the final result, maybe it's not the right decisions. Maybe I should play. Maybe I should play against him. Maybe I shouldn't set out
Yeah.
for that important match because in the end we barely lose to India. Uh, um, we only had one lose, but it's the most critical one we had, and makes me feel very bad because I lose a very and not a difficult ending, but actually I can draw this one, but I couldn't hold it. So that's why I set back for the clash between India against India.
Got it. It had to do with the Le Quang Liam game.
Yeah.
Moving on a little bit, you gave a really interesting interview to Kaya Snare of Take Take Take, where you admitted that Gukesh is the favorite. And in all of the world championships I've ever covered, I've never heard a player calling the other one the favorite, especially the champion. So do you still feel that Gukesh is the favorite?
Yeah, before Several months ago, everybody, including Carlson, said he had every chance to win, and I have nearly no chance. But now it changed a lot, and even Carlson mentioned it's maybe it will be a even match. So my mother, he asked me before the match, maybe Singapore Cup, she said if the match go to tiebreak that and then if you lose, did you accept this result? And during that time, I said, yes. Well, maybe it will be a glorious lose. it will. I will accept the result if it's that. But now, as when the match is approaching, when we are in the venue, I don't think I will give up either.
Well, that's great to hear. You're no longer happy with losing a close match. Now, winning is the only result you'll be happy with. You are the most open and honest world championship player I have ever covered, which works for you. But I'm wondering, is there anybody on your team who has ever said, hey, Liren, maybe you shouldn't be so open with the media?
Yes, but our leader said maybe you should speak Chinese, or maybe you should say something more common, and maybe you should say answer question in Chinese, so there will be a translator for you to give some more proper answers. But I think to just a waste of time. If I can answer question in English, although not so good, but still it will save some time.
So that's interesting. At the last World Championship and this one, you insist on speaking English. Is it only because it's more efficient? It's just faster? I thought maybe there was some other reason that you preferred English.
Uh, Maybe it's a way to improve my English.
Okay. Well, you can be my chess teacher and I will help you with your English. Okay. That's the least I can
Also,
do.
I have the chance to speak Chinese, especially here. A lot of people they can speak Chinese, even in Singapore.
Yeah. Let me ask you about that. Do you feel like there's any benefit to the fact that as you walk around Singapore, you can speak your native language? Is that going to maybe help you in the chess match?
I don't know. I don't know because it's sort of like a Wenzhou match, where I played in my hometown against the world strong grandmasters, and my result so far is I guess 2 win and 3 lose, and not a very good results yet. So maybe it's not there are not no home advantage in chess.
You have wins against Gukesh in classical chess, and he has no wins against you. Do you think that plays any part in your psychological, preparation for this match? Does it give you a little bit of a boost?
I beat him 2 times with black pieces and draw him 1 times with white pieces. I think in especially in the second game, he wants to beat me from the opening. He castle queen side and he played the way not his usual way to play, and he over pushed and I think I punished his mistakes. And the game was I think the best last good game for me. Since then, I haven't played a single game I am proud of.
Well, your English is getting better because the expression punish his mistakes is a very English expression to say. There's a famous trainer in India. I'm sure you know him, Grandmaster Ramesh. And I talked to him recently, and he said that when he worked with Gukesh at the Olympiad in 2022, that he noticed Gukesh's weaknesses, if you want to call them that, are that he doesn't have the best time management. And also, he has a limited opening repertoire. And then I asked Ramesh again this year, and he says that Gukesh still has some of those weaknesses. Uh, when you were preparing for this match, did you come up with those same conclusions? Limited opening repertoire and poor time management.
Well, I guess his weakness is he sometimes his performance in rapid and blitz are not as well as his performance in classical. Maybe if he was in time trouble, he may be cruel, make some inaccuracies. That's stage when he normally make mistakes.
So I know we're thinking way ahead here, but if your analysis is that he's not as good in rapid and blitz, does that mean that if we fast forwarded to a a rapid tiebreak, you would already feel like you're even more of a, a larger chance to win?
Yes, my coach said if the match is still tight, evens after several rounds, he will be the first one to get nervous. I don't know, because I saw he always very calm and very well rounded, and
Yeah, and I think when I talked with you in 2023, you were speaking to somebody in the medical field. I don't know if it was a psychologist or whoever it was to help you. But in preparation for this match, did you do psychological preparation of any kind?
well, not really, not really. I only do physical uh practice, a lot of physical practice because I love to do, and not so one may. It also may help me during the game, but mainly because it's a hobby I have.
Yeah, you said at the press conference that you like to play table tennis and badminton, but Gukesh plays tennis and squash. So we need to find a racket sport that both of you can play. Maybe pickleball? Have you ever played?
Yes, Pickle. Uh-huh. Yes, a combination of many ball games.
Have you played pickleball before?
Yes, a little bit.
Okay. And do you think that might be a place that we can have a fair racquetball match?
Also, I played tennis before.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, it would be a spectacle if during on the rest day we had you playing Gukesh in anything. A couple more questions. This year, the prize fund is a little bit different, and they're giving away $200,000 for every win. Will this affect the chess games at all? Will this affect any of your decision making?
Yes, that means if you win more, you will take more. Yes, that means you need to fight for every single point. Yes.
Do you think it will produce more fighting chess? I know in 2023, the chess world had a lot of wins, a lot more than we usually have. But do you think that this change in the prize fund will cause players to go for more wins? And
So there is small chance the loser will not qualify for the next candidates automatically. Yeah, that means it encourages players to fight harder and harder to fight for the best results.
yeah, that's interesting. That changes a lot of things if you don't even get qualification. Couple more questions. When Magnus was asked about your play, he said that there have been some moments recently where there's a critical moment and you don't go for it in the game. You sort of back off a little bit. Do you agree? There's a chance for you to be aggressive, but you don't push your position.
Uh, the game occurs to my mind in my game with Masudaru in Olympiad, where I spend nearly all of my time in a critical moment, but I couldn't find a very promising alternative. I thought I find a good one, but not the best one. And yes, and in the next stage of the game, and I missed the not so difficult win, and I just settled for very simple solutions. I didn't know to look for further into the games in the positions. Yeah.
And finally, in before the 2023 match, we understand that Wei Yi wrote you a poem. What is the coolest or the nicest gift that someone has given you before this match?
Uh, Not as sincere as that one. I think that poem is the nicest gift I ever heard. This time also somebody write a poem, but it's not as good as that.
Grandmaster Ding Liren, we thank you for your time and your openness, and good luck in the World Championship.
Thank you for questions.